Hey everybody, welcome back to Carnivore Quest. Larry here. Hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday, as best you can. Still feeling the effects of what happened 4 days ago. On September 11th, I did a live stream, the morning meeting, and we talked about what happened to Charlie Kirk and how it was affecting all of us. Not carnivore diet content, but it really hit our family hard. It did a lot of you too, who were a part of that meeting. I don't know how it couldn't hit anybody hard, but one of the things we talked about in that stream was, did Charlie suffer? And I really wanted to know from a medical standpoint if he did, because in the video, I'm sure most of you have seen it, but when he hits the ground, you don't see anything else. Was he conscious? Was he talking? Of course, he probably couldn't talk, but was he aware of what was going on? And I spent the last couple of days scouring the internet. I even used AI to figure it out to no avail. But today, I woke up, had my morning coffee, and a video popped up in my feed right when I clicked on YouTube, and it gave me the answer. So I want to share that with you guys today. My sister passed away when I was 18. She was murdered by her husband, and she was shot in the chest with a .357 Magnum from about 4 feet away. And I remember my mom for the first couple of days just absolutely devastated. And she just kept saying, I wonder if she suffered. I wonder if she laid there, bleeding out. Because my mom was right outside the house when it happened. The police were breaking through the door trying to stop her husband. And my dad took it upon himself for the next couple weeks to get a hold of the police, get a hold of the coroner. And he actually had the coroner write a letter to my mother explaining my sister's last moments. And the bullet hit her square in the chest and went straight through her spinal cord. And basically she died instantly. And it gave my mom, some comfort. It gave all of us some comfort. And if you've ever lost somebody to violence like that, it's the first thing you want to know. Like, what did they go through? And 10 years after that, my mom was killed by my stepdad very violently with a shotgun. And those of you who heard my testimony, heard that story, know that she didn't die right away. She suffered greatly. He shot her in the legs a couple times, beat her with the butt of the shotgun, and then finally ended her life with a headshot. It's important to know, at least for me, to give us some closure if Charlie suffered, and I think I found the answer. Matter of fact, I know I did. So I'm going to play it for you now. This is about a 4-minute clip from a forensic neuroscientist named Derek von Schaik. And I'll link his original video down below, but I clipped the part that will give us our answers.
How many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
That's when this single shot was fired. It sadly struck Charlie on the left side of his neck at apparently near his C4-C5 vertebrae, and apparently ruptured his left carotid artery and left jugular vein, causing sudden and massive blood loss. The entrance wound was approximately the size of a dime, but appeared much larger in footage of the event due to immediate surrounding bleeding. Although there was no clear footage of the exit wound, they tend to be much larger than the entrance wound in flesh. Do you know why? It's because the force of the bullet creates a temporary cavity, pushing mass along with it as the bullet exits the body. The bullet was fired from a high-powered
.30-06 round. That is the .30-06. Takes down a deer very easily.
And given the trajectory of the bullet coming from his left, moving downwards to his right.
This is where he would have been on his podium, and when she spin it around, this is supposedly where the gunman was. You can see here that it was a perfect line of sight.
It's likely that it sadly caused severe spinal cord damage. possibly resulting in instant breathing paralysis due to injury at the C4-C5 level, where the nerves that control the diaphragm are located, often remembered in medicine with the saying, C345 keeps the diaphragm alive. When Charlie was struck, the transfer of energy through his body was apparent, with his body jolting and his white t-shirt flapping. Both of his arms bent at the elbows, moving instantly towards his chest at just past 90-degree angles, sadly followed by him instantly slumping over in his chair to his left, falling to the ground. Many have speculated his arms moving upward towards his chest is due to a phenomenon known in forensic science as decorticate posturing. However, that's unlikely. Decorticate posturing occurs when higher brain areas like the cerebral hemispheres are badly damaged, cutting off voluntary motor control. With the cortex offline, the red nucleus in the midbrain takes over, flexing the arms while the brainstem reflex pathways extend the legs, producing the classic arms to core look. Since Charlie's cerebrum was apparently not directly harmed, decorticate posturing is unlikely. An immediate loss of blood to the brain does not typically result in immediate decorticate posturing. Instead, loss of blood to the brain would have led to rapid unconsciousness and flaccid collapse. Therefore, his arms instantly moving up like that after being hit was apparently due to an instant involuntary defensive reflex. If someone physically scares you, what do you do even without thinking? Right, hands up in front of your body to defend and protect your head, neck, and core. You may be wondering if severe damage to the spinal cord at C4-C5 caused Charlie to lose consciousness so quickly. No, it was the massive blood loss he incurred so quickly. The jugular vein carries deoxygenated blood down from the brain, while the carotid artery pumps oxygen-rich blood up to the brain. So what happens when both are catastrophically ruptured? Right, the jugular vein drains blood from the brain out of the body, while the carotid artery continuously pumps blood out of the body with each heartbeat. Also, since Charlie likely had an elevated heart rate from exciting the crowd just minutes earlier during his entrance, his rapid pulse would have accelerated the blood loss. When someone suffers a catastrophic wound to the neck that destroys a carotid artery and jugular vein, the mind only has a fleeting window to possibly register what happened. However, in Charlie's case, and after analyzing the footage with a digital timer, he was conscious for no more than 0.4 of a second after impact. Far too fast for his brain to even register what had happened to him. For the brain to register an event, even briefly, it needs at least 1 to 2 seconds of continuous function after the injury. That would be just enough for a flash of shock or awareness of what just happened to them. If someone goes unconscious in less than about 1 second, the brain cannot register the injury or even register that something is very wrong. Psychologically, the experience for Charlie is as if it never happened. No panic, no dread, no realization that he was about to die. Only an abrupt blackout. It was neurologically impossible for him to psychologically realize anything was wrong at all. But what about pain? It takes approximately just 100 milliseconds to register pain in the neck due to its close proximity to the brain and spinal cord. However, his blackout came so fast, his brain never had the opportunity to turn that raw signal into the perception of pain. What might have looked like movement, specifically with his arms moving upwards, was nothing more than an involuntary defensive reflex, not conscious awareness or the result of feeling any pain. He absolutely did not know he was shot, and psychologically was unable to even register that anything catastrophic ever happened. Although Charlie Kirk was taken from us far too soon at only 31 years old with a wife and 2 young children, his passing was essentially instant and without him experiencing any pain or suffering. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. Our thoughts and prayers are with his friends and family.
So there you go. He didn't feel anything, and I take comfort in that. I'm sure his family takes comfort in that. It's not just physical pain, but his wife and children were watching. They were in attendance. He didn't even have time to worry about them. Because I envisioned like him on the ground, worrying about their safety. And worrying about just them in general. And from what this gentleman says, he heard the gunshot, and the next thing you know, he was with the Lord. So I hope this brings some comfort to you guys. I know a lot of you were struggling with it too, who were in the morning meeting, and I really wanted the answer, and for some reason it popped up in my algorithm, because the day before I tried yesterday. I tried like heck to give me an answer. that I was satisfied with. So as for me, I think I'm going to be able to put some closure on this subject and start moving on, But I will definitely continue to pray for Charlie Kirk's family and our country. No matter what political affiliation you're with, I'm praying for everybody. So anyway, I'm going to have an update on my carnivore diet, guys, in the middle of this week. And I hope you check that out. If you've been in the morning meetings, I haven't been absolutely perfect, but I haven't made a video in a couple weeks. So my son's wedding is approaching and just under 3 weeks away. So we'll see how much weight I've lost, right? But right now, it just doesn't seem that important. I know my health is important to my family and me. Just been a rough couple days. And I want to say happy anniversary to my lovely wife, Cassie, my beautiful baby doll. We've been married 22 years today. So anyway, guys, I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday, like I said. And I hope this gives you guys some comfort, knowing that Charlie didn't suffer. Okay, we'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, no sugar, no carbs, and no cheating. Later.